everybody, welcome to Hangout4Hope on this June 17th, 2020. You know, I can't believe it's already the middle of June. Hopefully you've been able to get outside, enjoy some of this sunshine that we've had lately. I know something we really enjoy in the Lane household is opening up all the windows and, you know, it creates this kind of natural wind tunnel. Actually, our indoor cats totally dig it. Speaking of opening things up, did you hear the news? Advent ELC is going to be opening up again for in-person worship starting on Sunday, July 5th. It's true. Check out adventelc.org/reopen. Now, again, there's going to be a lot of things to be mindful of as we start to get back together in person, so check out adventelc.org/reopen for all the latest news and notes that you need on how we are going to start gathering together again. Well, we have a great show for you tonight. Beth Pittman is here with a devotion about resiliency. And we're also blessed to welcome back to the program Beth's daughter, Courtney Pittman, who is going to be providing us some wonderful special music. So don't go anywhere. We've got a great show, and we're going to be right back.
Good job, Lauren.
Okay, I got it. Dad.
Okay, don't forget to carry the one.
Dad.
Okay, that was delicious. Thank you. All right, hold on there, kiddo.
Dad.
Say cheese.
Cheese.
There you go. Okay, just one more. Hold your trophy up a little bit higher.
Dad.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's time to rise and shine.
Dad. I love it.
No.
Dad. Dad.
And they were here first. So
Dad.
So you want to go catch a movie at like 7:30 or something?
Dad.
And one more. Okay, one more.
Okay, let's go.
Wait. Come on, just one more. One more.
Dad.
I'm so proud of you. Now you just got to get a job.
Dad.
You look beautiful.
Oh, Dad.
And stand just a little closer together and move just a little bit to the left. My left. A little more.
Dad.
My friends, remember to record and send in the things you love about the dads in your life to pastor@adventelc.org before tomorrow night. That way I can put them together for Sunday morning worship. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our guest devotional leader for tonight, Beth Pittman.
Hi, everyone. I'm a bit surprised to find myself here. When Pal asked me if I would be interested in doing the devotion for this week's Hangout for Hope, my immediate thought was, no thanks. And I almost texted him that as soon as he asked. But something stopped me. Something or someone. So I asked my daughter Courtney if she would help me, and she said, sure, I'll do a song. Okay, thanks, Courtney. Fine, I'll take it. But a song is sort of the easy part for our family. Talking about God and trying to understand his way amidst, through, and in spite of the noise of this world. That's the hard part, at least for me. So I found myself texting Pal saying, sure, I'll do it. And then I said a little prayer about what I needed to talk about. We've all been dealing with things these past few months that we probably never, ever envisioned dealing with. Some people are dealing with health problems, sickness, death of loved ones, loss of income, feelings of injustice and inequity. These are all hard, terrible things, and I'm not going to pretend that they're not. There are also people who are struggling with things that are seemingly less terrible, quote unquote, but that still cause high levels of anxiety and sadness. There are all kinds of articles and blurbs out about the way people are feeling during this pandemic and time of social injustice. And a lot of those articles tell you to take breaks from the news, take time out for some self-care, and then try to do something for a friend or a neighbor. Do these things and you'll feel better. And I think those things do help for sure. But you know what else helps? Asking God for help, for real. I don't think we remember often enough to ask him for help. At least I don't. It seems like I only remember to talk to God and ask him for help when I'm in a dire situation. I have asked for his help in times of great emotional stress and grief. When I had a miscarriage, when each of my parents died, I didn't know what to pray for. I just asked God to help me. But each time I felt him lift some of the grief off of my heart and put some spiritual bubble wrap around me. That's what it felt like, so that I could handle all of the emotions that were threatening to overwhelm me. He surrounded me with people who loved me and loved those I'd lost. And somehow the blessings he gave me during those times became very obvious and clear to me. And I don't think that they would have seemed as clear if I hadn't remembered to ask him for help. I asked for his help 2 years ago, during the only time in my life so far when I experienced so much physical distress that I thought I might actually die. It was on a hiking trip into the Grand Canyon. My niece Jessie had tried to warn me that it was a hard trip. Aunt Beth, I was so miserable that I seriously asked my mom to break my leg so that they would have to helicopter me out of there. I am not joking. This is what she said to me, and I believed her. But I thought, I can do this. I'm going to train well enough. I'll just take it slow and steady. It's not a race. Well, truer words were never spoken. Not only was it not a race, it took me 12 and a half hours to get to the bottom of that canyon. And my sister-in-law, Lonnie, who was Jessie's mom, was with me every step of the way. We made the trip in late September, and the temperatures we thought would be so perfect at that time of year ended up being 107 degrees that day on the trail. It even surprised the locals, and they ended up flying 2 different people out of the canyon that day by helicopter. Lonnie had made the trip 3 other times in much cooler weather, and she knew much of what I was feeling and experiencing, so she just stayed with me and kept me going step by step. I felt sick to my stomach and dizzy from the heat, and the snacks that I forced myself to eat literally tasted like sawdust in my mouth. I found myself praying the Lord's Prayer over and over and reminding myself of Philippians 4:13. It says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That verse ended up being Courtney's confirmation verse a month later, so I thought that was pretty cool too. Not only was I repeating that verse over and over, but Lonnie also said it to me several times as we inched our way down. Beth, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. The message was coming in loud and clear. God's got this. He is with me, and I just need to trust in him and do this. And so that's what I did. He placed that spiritual bubble wrap around me and gave me the resources to figure out that my body was doing exactly what it was supposed to do. I was just overheated and dehydrated. Once I trusted that he was taking care of me, the trip went so much better. I mean, I still prayed the whole way out of that canyon, but I knew by then that I was going to get home to see my kids and dogs. And I can only say that that spiritual bubble wrap is good stuff. God gives us all kinds of guidance to pay attention to, especially when we're experiencing the kind of fear and strife we are today. In Proverbs chapter 3, he says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. I felt like God was asking me to submit to him when I was struggling in the canyon. And once I did, darn if he didn't make straight my path to get the heck out of there. I also like what 2 Timothy says in chapter 1. For God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and self-discipline. And something that seems especially applicable to what is going on with us today comes from 1 John chapter 4. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. For fear has to do with punishment, and whoever fears has not reached perfection in love. Our society and culture is big on self-sufficiency, and that's not always a bad thing. But there are things going on in this world right now that we cannot control, and that freaks most of us out, including me. But if we could just remember to look to God during these times, to ask Him for help, instead of relying solely on ourselves and the immediate things in this world, we would feel so much better. Reading the Bible and being part of a community, of God's community specifically, are two of the huge supports that He has put in place for us. That's our spiritual bubble wrap. Reading His teachings, remembering His instructions about how to navigate this world in a way that He would have us do, is empowering and clears out the rest of the junk that tries to distract us from what really matters. Try to remember to read God's Word or seek out other believers to renew your supply of spiritual bubble wrap the next time you feel like you don't know where to turn. Have a wonderful week. And remember, God's got this, and He is with us. So we just need to trust in Him and do this.
For I took a breath, you breathed your life.
Well, that's it for us tonight on Hangout for Hope. I am your host, Pastor Aaron Lane, and it's been a blessing to have this program with you tonight. I want to especially thank Beth Pittman and Courtney Pittman for our devotion and for the music that they provided. Thank you so much. This is a program that comes to you every single week right here on YouTube, youtube.com/Advent Lutheran Church. It's every Wednesday at 7 p.m. If you've missed any of our episodes, just check out our channel and you can see the things from the past. You're invited to every Sunday to worship with us, either online or in person. You can check more about that again at adventelc.org. Until the next time we meet, this is Pastor Aaron Lane reminding you to take care and to give care in the name of the one from whom all blessings flow. Have an awesome week.